What kind of growth have you seen from John over the last 5 to 10 years? I mean, like obviously he's made progressions in his regular fighting from light heavyweight to heavyweight, and now he's been such a role model over the last five years. He had all this crazy stuff early on in his career, but now it seems to be like on the right path, and he's just so likable now as a fan favorite. Like, what kind of growth have you seen from him as a fighter and as a person, and how those kind of coincide?
You know, it's probably about 3 years ago now at this point that we left Jackson Link and we kind of built our own program and team around John. And it's been really good because the guys that are there are all there for the right reason. They all love John. They're all committed to the goal. This is my cat. Sorry. Um, yeah, everybody's really committed, and it's helped us grow closer together as a team and also be a little more free, to try some new techniques, um, try some different approaches. And then we've had this just like amazing guest list of superstars come in to help us. And I think part of that is like creating a welcoming environment, so guys like Gordon Ryan and Gable Stevenson and Joseph Parker and so many great training partners have come through. And it's been a really cool experience to build that up around John, right? It's not a mega team where everybody has a fight this week or next week. It's like everybody in there is dedicated to John. They're trying to give the best look for him. They're all trying to push him. We all pray together. We all eat together. It's something really special. And so there's been a lot of growth in that. And I think it's shown in his fights over the last few years. Like since that move, we fought, went up to heavyweight. He totally rebuilt his body in a different way. Fought Surreal Gone, and then 2 weeks before the original date for Stipe Miocic, he had his injury to his shoulder and his pec, and then we all stuck together, a long road back to recovery, and came back stronger than ever, and showed that in the fight in November. So it's just been really cool to see John's growth, our team's growth, and everybody becoming better men through it.
Yeah, I I think the growth in both ways has been tremendous to watch. I think you guys definitely did it the right way physically too. I mean, you took your time, built up the muscle, built up the strength, make sure his technique doesn't suffer, and it's been very impressive. I mean, like, and it was weird how some people were doubting it. Like, can he make the move? I'm like, bitch, have you seen his brothers? Like, this guy's he's a Jones. What are you talking about? He can get big. Like, it just
Hmm.
it's in his DNA. He just needs a little bit of time. Got to do it the right way, and have the right people in his corner, which he clearly did. And it's been so fun to watch at heavyweight. I mean, I think to be honest with you, it's crazy that if you see it, if you just got into fighting and you just saw Jon Jones now, you would never think like that guy used to be a light heavyweight because he just looks so natural there. He's a really big and strong dude.
Hmm. Yeah, he really did do it right, and we're proud of him. And I know he can go toe to toe with any heavyweight in the world.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of that, all the big rumors are versus Tom Aspinall, obviously. Um, what kind of stuff do you see in Tom that are interesting to you to see as a coach that you may say, okay, that's different. I need to prepare a little bit differently. Obviously your guys' track record is undefeated. You guys are the best of the best. But are there certain things that you respect about Tom that that you guys are noticing up in front?
Oh, absolutely. Like I won't dive into like the technical things I see in him, but just he's building up his aura, right? He's undefeated. He has that confidence. He has the interim championship. He's calling out the goats, and that confidence comes with a lot of strength. So that's something I respect in a younger undefeated fighter, and it's something we need to be aware of. And yeah, it's interesting to see his reaction as time kind of plays out on this negotiation. I think you kind of see waves of his emotion.
Interesting.
And I'm sure it's a frustrating position to be in. I know he's probably ready to go and ready to fight, but at the end of the day, John's the one with the undisputed championship belt, and John's the greatest of all time. And John will do things on his terms, on his schedule.
Yeah, and I think no one should disagree with that, to be honest with you. Like that's the way it should be. And it's always been that way in the fight game, even in boxing for years. Like if you, the best will choose when he fights somebody else. Like there's no like you don't just get it just because you're asking for it. It doesn't really work that way. So I like it better that way. I think it's the right way to do things. I think it just makes sense. And I mean, I think everyone's just excited that it's just going to happen. I think I think Tom's been very respectful of John. I think, at least publicly, with interviews, he always says like, I think he's the man, and I respect Jon Jones, but I want to fight him. I think that's good to hear too. Like at some
Yeah,
point the shit talking is kind of just like it's only meant for certain people that appear to be natural when they're doing it. And I think when people are just respectful or something, I think that's actually a lot cooler sometimes. Like I'm like, that's good. Like now it's a war. Like, and it's going to be a war because it's a gentleman war. Big difference.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sometimes when it gets real ugly trash talking, it doesn't always bring the best out.
No, there's some cringy ass press conferences. You're like, all right, enough of this shit. Please, please stop tormenting me. Unbelievable.